Welcome world, back to another video. My name is Ashley. You've just tuned in to Living with Ashley J, and this is Tru Story. So I recommend you grabbing you some wine, something to drink, some coffee, some tea, something. And you might need some of these. So it's gonna get very real. Don't let your kids watch this video. Also, I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm going to share these stories with you all so you all have an opportunity to walk down the aisle with me of what I've experienced. And if you all out there are experiencing something like this or have experienced something like this, hopefully your take home points is how to heal, how to get through. We have to talk through these situations in order to become better. So I'm going to get right into the video. I have read the title of this video. You're here now. Go ahead and subscribe. But like I told y'all, I'm coming out. Okay? What that basically means is I'm exposing my deep, dark secrets so that I can help someone else because no one helped me. I was about 5 or 6 years old when this happened to me. I can remember it just like it was yesterday. It was dark. I was alone and it was cold. So, way back then, when I was just a little girl, when I was supposed to be enjoying Cabbage Patch dolls, Barbie dolls, painting my nails, even baking cookies with grandma, right? I lived in California. And we all have this pretty picture or vivid picture that California is supposed to be this nice, cool place, full of beaches, full of people just having fun. We envision California, this place where you can just go to the beach, have fun, and just do all this good stuff, right? Yeah, that was sort of my life way back when, but I kind of like toggle back and forth from grandma's house to mom's house and numerous other people. So on this date in particular, wasn't nothing more out of the ordinary that normally happened. Oh, let me tell y'all, I had a pet fish named Rocky. He was pretty cool. Yeah, I remember I miss my Rocky. That's probably why I buy fish today, because I think having fish as a kid kind of kept me a little bit more excited about waking up, seeing something just move without a care in the world. So I'm not sure how my mom met this gentleman. Well, hopefully by today, hopefully he's gained that title. Okay, y'all. So this video may be tough for me to record. I just want y'all to know that these are stories from my past. I've already had therapy, gotten through these, but at the same time, reliving the situation can be tough. So, I was about 5 or 6 years old. I didn't really quite understand my mom or how she met me in. I don't think she actually knew that either. So, the funny thing is this. I don't really know where this guy came from. If he was like somebody she met at the store or someone that she worked with, someone from the neighborhood. I'm not quite sure. But all I can tell y'all is this. It got really late one night. I can remember going outside playing and come back in, getting a shower and things of that sort. Somehow this man ended up being at our house past dark. I ended up getting sleepy, going to the room, going to sleep. Of course, you know how parents put their kids to bed and they have a kickback. Well, at least I know now that I'm grown, that's what they're called. So, I can remember just like it was yesterday. I'm just going to tell you how the house was built a little bit so you can better understand my position and her position and his position. So, my mom had a 1-bedroom apartment. And in that 1-bedroom apartment, you have the back room, which would be the bedroom. And then the living room is here, like facing this way. And then the bathroom is here. So the way the house was set up, if you had to go use the restroom and you were in the bedroom, you had to go from the bedroom to the living room to the bathroom. So this man ended up being at our house later than he probably should have been. I remember like it was yesterday, getting up out of the bed with my mom, going to the bathroom, half asleep. Again, like I said, I was like 5 or 6 years old, half asleep. As I came out the bathroom though and proceeded to walk towards the room, I felt a nudge. I felt that grip of what I know now as a strong grip from a man. Grab me, hug me, pull me down on the couch where he laid. When he pulled me down on the couch, y'all, I wasn't allowed to get up. It was like that force. Imagine being 5 years old, not being able to move. He covered my mouth where I almost couldn't breathe. And like any kid would do, they hush. So I hushed. He eventually thought I was asleep. I wasn't asleep. I kept trying to pry my way in to the room, but then there kept being force. Just like it was yesterday, I will never forget him fondling me. I will never forget at being in such a young age and I knew nothing about what a penis was. That thing going inside of me, it stripped me from my innocence. It stripped me from what I knew childhood was. I no longer was a child anymore. I just don't understand. I don't understand why to this day. When he finished, and the fact that I know all this and I remember all this, it's tough for me to even just imagine someone that little being stripped from their innocence. Now, I'm not quite sure if, like, my mom and him, like, never had sex, or he was just attracted to children. But what I do know is he raped me. I felt my childhood just being stripped away. I felt the force. I felt disgusting at 5. I felt so many things. I probably couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine that now. But when he finished his devilish duty, he ran out the house. He left. I woke up and told Mom what happened. She was in disbelief. She was in shock. And all I can remember is being surrounded by police officers and just people. I will never forget his dark face being darker than night. I will never forget the box haircut. I will never forget the blue jeans he wore that day, the white shirt he wore that day, how he smiled at me in a vulgar manner. I will never forget that. I will never forget that my mom became mute that day. And now, as me being a parent, I understand why she was mute. She probably felt like she failed me. And unfortunately, she did. Not necessarily that it was her fault, but she failed to realize that I still needed her. That was a tough part for me. A tough part for me now, in reference to back then, is having that nightmare when I had daughters. That was tough for me. If any of you have daughters and you've never seen what a marriage looks like, better yet, if you've never seen what God looks like, you should probably go find out who that is. Because that person's very important to you. He's going to help you heal. He's going to help you forgive. I chose to talk about this topic, y'all, because us as Black women, we're told to shut up. We are told that it's our fault. Or in other cases, we're scared to come forward, right? So I know you're out there. I know you're scared. I know you're lonely. I know you're sad. I know you're hurt. I know you're a whole lot of things. But one thing you need to know that you are is you are definitely worth it. So I encourage you to get some help if you're going through this situation, or if you went through this situation, you're not over it, you don't know how to get over it. It's a daily process. It's a process. Now, whether you be male or female, it could happen to anybody. I can remember since that day my mom was mute. She became mute for a long time. But y'all know what? That little girl grew up and she became a teenager. She had to try to find her way. Grandma raised me. And it wasn't no easy thing being a teenager. And I hear that it's still not an easy thing being a teenager. I can remember being in class, sex education class, and being asked, who's all a virgin in here? I couldn't attest to that. I couldn't attest to that. And you know why I couldn't attest to that? Grandma died. I ended up right back at Mama's house. And unfortunately, as a teenager, this happened to me again. But this time, she wasn't a little girl. She was able to talk and speak up for herself. She was angry. She was upset. Mama didn't want to believe that her boyfriend, full of money, could betray her in such a way. It became a tit for tat. It became a argument. It became a whole lot of things. We grew further and further apart. It affected me in so many ways. I had to reach out for my own help as I became an adult. I made it through. Not because someone helped me. I made it through by the grace of God. God showed me in so many words that I'm worth more. I'm worth more. Let's just be honest here. Let's be real honest. This is not an easy subject to talk about. It's not. But I'm talking about it today because in order to be like I am now, I had to understand you have to love God. You have to love yourself. But in order to truly love yourself past all your fears and your failures and your shortcomings and everything else, you have to know Him so you can get to know you and so that He can help you through all this stuff. You can't help yourself and you certainly can't do it alone. So what I'm basically trying to say is I was abused sexually, right? As a child, as a teenager, I didn't quite understand why this had happened to me or even if it was my fault or what I did or what I didn't do. But all I knew is the cry for help that I was expecting to get never came. So I had to look unto God for help. A lot of people will give you negative narratives of what to do in your life. But in this situation, it requires a different level of healing. Yes, I went through therapy. Yeah, did it help? Yeah, and I still have to do it today. Because like right now I'm sharing this with you, it still touches me in a way, right? But I'm here to tell you, you can get through whatever situation that you're faced with, whatever obstacle you're faced with, because God loves you. I love you. So make sure that you're being intentional. If you're going through this situation, seek help. It's so many little girls, they become teenagers, they become women, and they become dysfunctional women. They become hurting women. They become stressed women. They don't know how to manage all those emotions because stuff is haunting them. Don't let it haunt you. Face your demon. Face your struggle. It's okay to be different. It's okay to heal. It's okay to take time. If you know somebody that's struggling, help them. As women, if you've ever been sexually abused as a woman, as a child or a teenager, make sure you get help so you don't become that woman that's fighting the fight of aggression, of sorrow, of pain, and you don't know where to channel those emotions to. Make sure that you don't become that person that doesn't know how to love themselves and love others. Because you can't properly love God, yourself, or others if you don't take care of things that are haunting you. So, thanks so much for tuning in to Tru Stories today. Tru Story. I'll be back again next week for the next story. Put your seatbelt on. Get prepared. Again, it's going to be transparent, candid, real, very vivid. So, stay tuned. And until next time, like I always say,
Peace.